it is a cultural thing for the northern people that women are better to stay at home. This water is contaminated with mercury, a lot of amount of mercury, so they can extract the ore. And this is also taken by rainwater to the rivers or directly just drain it to the river. Yeah, so it is really a disaster situation.
The main producing countries are China, Australia, Russia, the United States of America, Canada, and for example, Peru. And what are the main consumer countries? Are China, India, United States of America, Germany, Thailand, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Indonesia. What is really striking is that almost half of the extracted gold is used for jewelry, as you see on the left. Another approximately 40% go to private investment and Federal Reserve banks. About 15%, or here is about 15%, are used in technology, medicine, or for art objects. The truth is that we could stop gold mining at once. Mankind has already extracted sufficient amounts of gold to satisfy our needs in technology. This is the significant difference between gold and other minerals. But what, of course, is true, we have to make sure and support people. We have to make sure and support people to find jobs outside the businesses related to gold.
I would like to talk about the environmental impact for artisanal gold mining in general, and that is, of course, applied to Sudan. So there is degradation of biodiversity, and the direct effect would be removing vegetation. And this could be for extracting the raw or using trees to start fires, so softening the rocks that could be digged. So this is a very direct impact and would lead to land use change, which make, for example, the soil unsuitable for agriculture, for example. And then we have the, you have to, have to move a lot of amount of soil. So this would cause also soil erosion and participate in desertification. So it's not all bad, as I mentioned, because it provides jobs for big portion of the population. This water is contaminated with mercury, a lot of amount of mercury, so they can extract the ore. And this is also taken by rainwater to the rivers or directly just drain it to the river. So yeah, you can imagine how this bad for the environment and the human who are working on it. And then they take it and burn it, and they just inhale these vapors of mercury while burning the gold to release the mercury out of it. So there is also, so this have health, environmental health problems to miners, which it could be like neurotoxicity and autism if the women who are working in mining are pregnant and they were doing those processes. Then the children would have issues also. My sample was just a small one, 69 people only, 43 from the villagers and 26 from the gold market. And this is because it wasn't easy for me to enter the gold, the market, because it was dangerous to enter to a place where just there is only men. So I had to just go to the edge of the market. And the results showed that one of the questions I had answers to from the interviews, that does mining methods affect the natural environment? And you can see that most of the people said yes, which is like 90 something, yeah. And 91, I can say, yeah, I remember that they were suffering from health issues, such as inflammation, gastrointestinal diseases, or malaria, because there is a lot of stagnant water there, which is suitable environment for mosquito, inflammations, yeah. So now we will talk about the climate crisis. And of course, Sudan, like any other country in the world, is affected by climate change, but it is more severe because we are a low-income country, and we already suffering from a lot of economic and political, social problems. So this add more problem to Sudan. But we mainly suffer from rising in temperature, drought, rainfall are not, it's erratic, so the pattern is not as usual, so you don't know when should you practice farming or agriculture and when you shouldn't. All this made it like a suitable environment for people to just go to easy way to find income, which is artisanal gold mining. And the problems of artisanal gold mining could be shown here or linked to climate change in a way that we said that removing vegetation, which is of course land use change and lead to desertification. So this is clearly linked directly to climate crisis. And also the mercury and tailings disposals. Talking about the artisanal gold mining in general, as I mentioned earlier, northern part of Sudan, women are not allowed to do this kind of practice. But in other parts like western and eastern part, and I will concentrating my talk on the western part because I think they are more, the women there more, they suffer more than other parts of Sudan. And in these parts, women are allowed, but it is not still good thing because their wage or income could be taken by their men and controlled by their men after they have like, yeah, like at the end of months or the way how they do work. So it is still kind of oppression on women. And in this part of Sudan, women are not just responsible of bringing food to house, but even preparing it. Like they are responsible for everything, providing water, which you could have, which means that they bring it from long distance, or children. So both those groups are suffering, and men, they would just disappear sometimes. And as I mentioned, the government already put a lot of challenges to women, and the economic situation add more challenges. So, and climate crisis, because sometimes women are practicing agriculture, they would have small fields and they just get out of it a small income, but it is like enough for them. But after climate change, this have changed and they have to find somewhere else, and they move to artisanal gold mining.